Okay, right. Back for after the short break there. Part two of this conversation with Sami from Finland. Um Sami, it's been very interesting so far. You're a very interesting person, especially because of where you're based and the research you've done in archery and very much well, kind of self-taught, but also have gone to different teachers. We stopped about when we had the break about talking about the Kudo, the Yabusame, the Japanese archery, the influence that's had on you. With your experience of making bows, have you made your own Yumi bow? If not, where do you get your bow from?
I haven't made a Yumi bow. Wouldn't even dare to try with my current bowyer skills. Or I could try, but I think I would be destined to fail. I got my Yumi from Jaap Copper Dryer.
Mm.
Maybe you know
Yeah, I
him.
I interviewed you up on the series of the Ask the Archer. So a few years ago during COVID time, we had a very, very
Yeah,
good interview. Very, very nice guy.
yeah. So I've only got one Yumi, and it's made by Jaap.
Uh-huh. Excellent.
They're quite expensive bows, so I would like to have more, but they are quite expensive. So
Mm.
mm,
Yeah, definitely. They do take, I think, longer to make than some of the composite bows for horse archery, for example. Um, I did one interview with well, I think it was through Yap Copper Dryer, Shibuta, Shibuta Sensei from Japan.
Shibata
Shibata
Sensei
Sensei, sorry, Shibata Sensei. And
is
yeah, he was amazing person, a lot of knowledge, and so we had a very good interview. I was meant to try to document how he makes the bow, but we never managed to get there. But otherwise, he was a very, very interesting person. And like you said, with the Japanese tradition, they've managed to have a consistent connection, through history, which is really, really quite impressive. Unfortunately, in Europe, we have a lot of breaks in our tradition.
yeah. For example, with the Okasawa Ryu, they have continued it for 850 years or so without
Mm,
breaks. So
amazing.
it's it's something that you have to respect, and it appeals to me very much. And it's great that you you know how the things are done if you want to follow that school. You don't have to guess how the ancient did
Mm,
things because there is no breaks and everything has been preserved.
yeah,
So it's great in a sense of humankind preserving history also. They are unbelievable feats.
definitely. In terms of arrows, I assume you make your own arrows as well.
Yes, I do. I use wooden arrows, and I make most of them myself, like 99%. If I want some arrows that I can't make, or I know that somebody would make them better, or is experienced, or has professional in arrow making, and I need special kind of arrows, then I order them. But for example, the Japanese arrows, I don't make myself. But
Yeah,
basically, most of my arrows I make myself, and they
I
are
see.
always like natural materials, wooden or bamboo.
Mm. And the feathers, you just buy them online or you can get them in Finland.
Yeah, I buy them online, and you can get them in Finland. You can get all kinds of archery equipment in Finland.
Mm.
So all kinds of bows, basically. So that's not a problem. I've also experimented with the natural feathers also, but
Mm.
because I tend to use a lot of arrows, and they break and they get
Mm.
lost. I lose many arrows. For example, when I do the ski archery or winter archery,
Sure.
always in the spring I can go to the yard and collect dozens of arrows, missed
Yeah,
ones. So they
I was thinking
so
about that when I was looking at your videos of the aerial discs or when you're skiing. I mean, you don't have any netting or anything, so if you miss, then you have to wait for the spring when the snow can melt, yeah?
yeah. And for the aerial disc shoots, I use the flu arrows, so they don't fly that far. if
Mm.
I missed a disc, but still I missed a couple of those when doing this aerial disc ski archery stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful, but it also like encourages you to practice to be accurate because you lose
Yeah,
10
absolutely.
euros when you lose an arrow. So
Exactly, for sure.
mm.
Is there anything planned for this year that you're doing in terms of your YouTube channel or any experiments or new type of archery that you're planning?
Well, I seem to constantly have many ideas, all too many ideas, and I also constantly run short of time.
Yeah.
But I would like to continue the ski archery thing for the spring as long as there's still snow on the ground. The weather hasn't been on my side lately. It has been too warm to
Mm.
have a proper skiing conditions. That's something I would like to do still this spring. And then I would very much like to, because I have also experimented with the heavier bows, some heavy manchu bows, and I would like to take the heavier bows on horseback and
Mm.
start practicing to use a proper war bow on horseback.
Oh,
But
wow. Okay.
it's a longer path, so I don't know if we see
Mm.
the results this year or the next. But that's something that I have like added to my to do
Yeah.
to heavy bow on a horseback.
At the moment, what poundage bow do you shoot comfortably? What are you happy with?
80 pounds is my upper limit at this point.
Mm.
And I normally use bows about 40 or 50 pounds because I follow the rule that you should use the kind of a bow, uh, the bow, half of the strength of the bow that you can open up. If you can
Mm.
open up 100-pound bow, then you should use the 50-pound bow.
Sure.
And this is a common rule in Middle Eastern, it's Japanese, it's Chinese. It comes
Mm.
up in so many cultures, and it's a kind of like I found it good rule. So it's really helpful for yourself to train yourself to the level where you can open up a strong
Mm.
bow and then take the half of the and you can really control the your
Mm.
normal light bow then.
Interesting. Is that a rule that you found in a book somewhere or you read about it or
It's in every way. It's in Saracen archery. It's in teachings. It's basically rule of the thumb of the
rule of
ancients
thumb?
in many cultures. You can find it in books and sources
Yeah.
all around.
So this year you're going to try to work up to 70, 80 pounds on the horse.
Yes. 80 pounds. I would be happy,
Excellent,
but gotta
excellent.
take it carefully because
Indeed,
because
yes.
there
You
are
have to.
risks. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, Sammy, I wish you luck with that and all the other experiments and things that you are doing. We will definitely keep an eye on your YouTube channel. We appreciate you for adding the great content that you are doing to the archery world. It makes things very interesting, and it's good to see that even though you're quite isolated, you're very far from many people. You are still documenting the bows and the arrows that you're making, the style of shooting, and the different experiments, which gives people like myself and many people, I guess, around the world, a lot of inspiration to also try the same. Um, I hope that one day we can maybe meet in person somewhere. I don't have any
Mhm.
plans for
You never
Finland,
know.
but that would be really nice if we were to meet and be able to shoot together. But I'd like to
Yes.
thank you for your time and anyone who wants to follow Sami, his YouTube page is Ugri Archer. I will put it in the description below. But Sami, thank you very much for your time and we will stay in touch.
Thank you very much. This was fun. This was interesting.
Thank you
Yes.
so much. Take care.
Take care.
All right.